Okay, in this quick concept check video, we're going to do two things. We're going to adjust the trade plan and entry based off of the scouting report, and we're going to place a bracket order. Now, on this week's stock report, there's a good looking technical setup here on TTWO. Now, this stock made the scouting report initially as the bull pullback, where it popped up to the new high, pulled back down to the old support resistance zone, had the dojis. And this trade already triggered in and is showing us a nice little profit thus far. And it's closed right here at resistance. And so now we can revise this trade to a breakout. And if you look up here at the entry criteria and the exit criteria up here, it had an entry above 128 and stop loss down below 124, target 132 by 135. Well, I got to revise that game plan now because we're into the trade. And by the way, you should also revise game plans and targets and things as you look at scouting report picks, especially as they confirm as the trade matures. And there's multiple entry techniques. So we missed the pullback. I mean, if you didn't already catch the pullback and you're looking for the breakout, now we've got that nice little profit. Well, I can restructure the trade with a trigger here, a stop loss down below the gap, and we can revise the target probably out to 140. I think that ought to give us a good 1.5 to 2 to 1 reward to risk ratio. And we can do that by placing a bracket order, which will give us our trigger, our stop loss, and our target all at the same time. So I'm going to switch gears over here to Thinkorswim. And I got TTWO opened up. And again, we're looking for a breakout here. So now we're getting close to resistance, but we can use a stop loss on this and then manually adjust it. So we're going to go ahead and right click on this chart. And we're going to go buy custom with an OCO bracket. Now, there's different ways to go about creating the order ticket, and every broker is a little different. But in the Thinkorswim platform, this is how you go about doing this. Now, I'm doing this in a simulated account, by the way. And we're going to put in our buy stop limit to get in. That'll trigger us to get in. And then we're going to use a target and a stop loss at the same time. I'm going to make all of these good till canceled. And then we need to go ahead and figure out the price points. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger it in here above 132. Today's high was 132.21. So I think we can go buy at 132.25. And then we can use a low down there near 128.81. So 128.81. So we'll go put that at 132.25 for our trigger. Maybe we'll go 132.30. Make sure we get it above the candle low there. So 132.30. And then I'll say, but let's not spend more than 132.50. Now that's a generous window based off of the ATR being 449. And then I'm going to target 140. And then we're going to go ahead and put in a stop loss down here below. I'm going to use this gap since it's a breakout. I'm going to use the candle low here. And again, that is 128.81. So I'm going to set it down at 128.75. 128.75. Now, with that type of risk, that's going to be the worst case scenario, 132.50 down to 128.75. So that's going to expose us to what do we got there? We got $3.75 risk. Let me double check my math on that because, again, it's late in the day and my brain's a little tired, so I'm going to use a little math here just to figure that out. So worst case scenario, we pay $132.50. And if we put a stop loss down at 128.75, that gives us our exposure to risk, and there's $375 risk. That means $375 risk on 100 shares. And I'm thinking I'm just going to go with 50 shares. Going to keep that risk profile small. So again, if we've got that type of risk, $3.75 risk times 50 shares, well, that's going to give us $187 risk. And so as long as we're comfortable with that risk, we're okay placing that trade. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm and send that bracket order in. We got it all good till canceled. We got, again, just review the order. 132.30 stop, 132.50 limit, target 140 sell limit, and a 128.75 stop. I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm and send. And voila, there is our bracket order. You can see it where we got a better than 1.5, almost 2 to 1 reward to risk ratio, and a reasonable stop loss. Now again, I could be less aggressive on that stop loss or back that off a little bit if I needed to. After looking at it, I think I want to back that stop off just a hair, and we can drag that down with the mouse and I'm going to readjust it down to about 127. I'm going to give it a couple extra pennies risk there, a little bit more wiggle room to give it that breakout, a little bit of room. So that is a bracket order, and I hope you enjoyed this little breakout video. And again, I hope you're enjoying the step swing trading system. And if you are a member of Tackle Trading, obviously if you're going through this training, awesome. But if you're just watching this little supplementary video on YouTube, come check out the swing trading system. It is awesome. It can help you make decent returns, control the risk, and use these types of orders to plan and control those trades.